it's easy to almost idolize and think you got to be something you're not. And you got to just find what you feel comfortable with. And in the end of the day, I got to find just what I'm happy with. Like I also do Formula One because I love it. And for me, that's so, although it's a very simple thing to say and easy to say, it is the priority, because the more I enjoy something, almost the harder it makes me want to work for it, and the better the results and that kind of thing. So as long as I start it in with the correct bullet point, which is go out and have fun, as much as it's just an easy statement to put out in front of everyone, it has to start like that for me.
Hello everybody, welcome back to The Fast and the Curious. If you are a long-time listener, you will know that we speak to some of the biggest names in the sport, which is what we're doing today, and we try and keep you in the loop with everything that is going on in the mad world of Formula One. I'm Betty Glover, hello. Greg James pops in sometimes as well. He's not here today, but our resident Formula One geek, Christian Hewgill, is, of course. You never not here, Christian.
No, I tend to be. I don't have anything else to do with my life other than talk about Formula One.
Well, actually, I beg to differ, because you are now a dog dad, so
I'm a
you've
dog
got
dad.
a lot going on.
Genuinely, I think, we won't do long on this because we're speaking to a Formula One driver, the literal world champion.
Do keep it quick, yeah.
Yeah, I've had more DMs and messages about getting a dog than I think I've ever had in anything in my professional life. So other than trying to get a golden retriever puppy to do a poo in the rain, other than that, I don't have anything to do other than talk about Formula One. Formula One is re-emerging from its sort of, winter slumber, isn't it, Betty Glover? So we've had Shakedown Week, which has been where everybody gets used to these new regulations. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in our next episode. We've got 2 actual proper preseason tests to come in Bahrain, but we thought this was a good opportunity to speak to not just any old Formula One driver, the actual world champion.
Yeah, we've only gone and got the world champion, Lando Norris. Let's get him in. Lando Norris, welcome back to The Fast and the Curious.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you all again.
Lando, has anything significant changed since we last had you on? Any sort of status, I wonder?
No. No, not really. Honestly, it's all pretty much the same. I mean, yeah, apart from having a number 1 on my suit and my helmet and things like that, my life is pretty much the same, which is a good thing. It's just I have a lot of great memories and awesome pictures, and deep down I know I achieved an incredible thing. So no, I guess I just feel better, but otherwise the kind of outlook is generally the same.
What is it like driving the car with a number 1 on it? Is that weird?
I think it's more. I mean, it's more weird when I see it rather than just simply driving. Like when I see it on, I said in one of the other interviews, like on the timing screens and things like that. I don't know. Just I've been for the last 7 years, used to just always seeing the number 4, and then all of a sudden you're number 1. So it's weird for the eye, just because you get very used to getting used to something. But when I see it in pictures and things like that, it's just cool, because you don't think about it 24/7 as much as I want to. You don't think about it 24/7. So when you then see it, it's like a constant reminder, and then you think about it and you're like, oh, I did that. So it's pretty amazing.
I now sort of wish you were thinking about it 24/7 and really taking the mick with it. It's like, Lando, do you want a coffee? Is it a world champion's coffee? Because if so, I shall take it. If so, I'm not interested.
No, that's not me.
We know it's not you. But that said, and humour us for a second, with little things when people say, I'm joined by the world champion, or Lando Norris, Formula One world champion, surely the novelty of that's not worn off yet. That you don't need to play it cool. That's massively cool.
No, I think that's still something that's not even settled in yet. It's still just a reality of it. Like the fact it is a reality, which is an amazing thing. Like that's one of the best feelings, is still kind of trying to realize it's happened and we achieved it, and yeah, we're world champions. So like when someone says it, and it's just cool. Like the more people that say it, the better at the minute. So it will never wear off.
Have you had anyone weird or particularly interesting, or someone that you just didn't expect say congratulations to you? Like, has anyone popped into your DMs and you're like, oh, wow?
Honestly, I've not read half of them.
No, that's
I have
understandable.
I have so many that I've not even looked. I need to, honestly, because but it takes quite a while, and it's still taking me to this day to reply to like half of them. So I still got a few more days of trying to just go through every single one, whether it's on Instagram or on WhatsApp or something. But I mean, there's just a lot of amazing people. I wouldn't say weird people. There's a lot of people just from different sports, every different sport. Whether they're incredible at the sport, like one of the best, or they're just people that I've watched growing up, young people, old people. Like, just when you see something like that, the amount of support you get, or just congratulations and respect is something that I just admire a lot. So it's it's a beautiful thing. But I do apologize to anyone that I've not responded to yet, because I still need to spend more time doing it.
I'm sure they'd forgive you, to be fair. David Beckham, I feel like always pops up when someone wins something from the UK. Has he slid into your DMs? Has he messaged you?
I mean, we speak every now and then about different things. And he did send me a message. So I mean, David's always great. He's he's in the garage every now and then in Bahrain, Qatar, a few different places. So he's a cool guy. So it's always nice when his name pops up, for sure.
Well done, Betty. We're having that one. David Beckham popped up. Yeah, we'll have that. Yeah. Lovely work. Excellent. Lando, I can still remember meeting you for the first time before your first Grand Prix, which seems about 100 years ago now. And from the pictures, we both look a lot younger, but you've aged better than me. But like, definitely. Even then, you were talking like, the dream is to be world champion one day. And you'll have said that from beyond then, from going back into karting. Now you've had the winter and you've reflected on it, and some of it sank in. How does it feel to have not just to have achieved like a goal that you've wanted to achieve in life, but the goal, like the ultimate? That's something that not everyone will do in their life, no matter what that goal is. That must be amazing. What's it like?
It's true. Like, that's like my life. I'm happy for life now. Because simply it's what I've dreamt of doing my whole life, in a way. It's all I've worked towards. It's all I've tried to do since I was like 6 years old, basically. So for something to take so long in order to achieve like that one goal, I think is what makes it so incredible. It's not like you wake up one day and next year it's done. It's from the age of 6 all the way to when I was basically 26, to almost 20 years of trying to achieve one thing. But it's one of the most prestigious, incredible things you can possibly do in the world. So it's still unbelievable. Like I said, it's still an unbelievable thing to think of. But especially when it's me, like, and for my family, my friends, the people who have kind of been on that whole journey with me, I think that for them it's also the same feeling, because they know what it's taken to get there.
Just on that, I wanted to ask you about your mum, because she had so many viral moments last season, but particularly the last race as well. She had so much airtime, didn't she? Is she enjoying her newfound fame?
I think so. It's the problem.
Too much.
I've not even watched it back yet. The race. I love to. I need to sit down and just watch it and see, from the other perspective of seeing what the people saw on TV and things. But I had a pretty good seat for the whole thing, so I saw good bits.
Yeah.
But it was she loves it. I mean, she's there cheering me on and supporting me, and that's something I would never not want, right? So that's a great thing. It's not her choice to be on TV, but people seem to love her, and that's a beautiful thing. So
she's brilliant.
Yeah, I know she's always great.
But it must be cool doing all this with your parents beside you, because also I remember watching the Vegas qualifying from the McLaren Hospitality, and it was obviously at that point of the season, it's really squeaky bum time. Your dad was a few seats in front of me, and the electricity going through him was unbelievable. Like I was genuinely thinking he was going to put his foot through the motorhome floor. Like, he was bouncing, and they feel every emotion too, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they both do. Like they don't like to watch the start of races. Um, I think it's worse when you're not. It's almost worse for them because they have no control over anything that happens. So you're just a passenger at that point, which I think makes it harder in many ways. But they've supported me. I wouldn't be here without my parents, so they've supported me since the beginning. Um, yeah, and I mean, especially in those moments, because as much as it's my dream, it was also my dad's and my mum's at the same time in some ways. So, yeah, but it all kind of started with my dad going karting with him once, and my brother, and kind of living his dream in some ways. He loved racing when he was younger. He just never, he couldn't do it. So he got to share almost his dream with me, and I got to kind of fulfill one of his dreams at the same time, which is a beautiful thing, right? So, yeah, no, I couldn't have done it without them. So I was happy that they could my whole family basically was there. So it was very special.
So it really doesn't feel like it was that long ago. I feel like there
It wasn't.
hasn't been a break. There hasn't really been an off season. You must feel that like more so than everybody else. What have you done? So like driving aside, have you managed to do anything sort of in between that's cool?
Yeah, I mean, I spent a good amount of time with my friends. We went away for New Year. I went to see my parents for Christmas, and then I went away with my mates for New Year. Um, and that's just what I love to do. Like I go play some golf and have a few drinks on the beach, that kind of thing. So it's just sometimes simple things are honestly just as cool as it gets. And I had a beautiful New Year, a beautiful trip to Finland, and that's all. I just love doing that, to go and experience some things and be with my mates and have a good time. That's the best part of all of it, really. So not a lot. Like I honestly wish I could have had another month to just sit back, relax, take it all in, because it's been the shortest off season probably almost of my career, I would say. So yeah, a bit of a weird one, but that's also Formula One, right? So it's my job. So yeah, I gotta get cracking and yeah, stop trying to only think of last year, but at the same time, start preparing as best I can for this year too.
I think what so many people who listen to this podcast like is that you are always like you're very bold in saying, I want to do this my way and I want to be myself. And whether that is needing to go and have those moments, as you say, like New Year and just step away from it all, which some people need to do, or whether it's when you're in season, like, are you particularly proud for having sort of done it your way? You've spoken a lot about this, of like not changing who you are, not letting sport change who you are as a person, which sometimes when it's so all consuming, it can be easy to slip into that, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated thing, and yeah, I don't know. Everyone just has different personalities, different traits. And if I really wanted to, and yeah, if I really wanted to, and want to go out on track and yeah, drive in a different way and be a lot more just over aggressive, and I don't know, I could easily do that, but it's just I don't know. I don't almost enjoy doing that. It's just so the opposite of me as a person. So I mean, obviously, I hear a lot of people saying you're doing it your own way and stuff, and I don't think a lot of people generally know like the whole understanding of that kind of thing. But and a lot of it's between me, my team, Andrea. Kind of started a lot of it with Andrea. So it's very much an us thing, and the understanding is between us. But it's just you're not trying to be someone you're not. Not trying to go out and think, Schumacher did this, all those years ago. I need to try and be more like that, or Seb did this, or Max did that, Lewis did it's easy to almost idolize and think you got to be something you're not, and you got to just find what you feel comfortable with. And in the end of the day, I got to find just what I'm happy with. Like I also do Formula One because I love it, and for me that's all. Although it's a very simple thing to say and easy to say, it is the priority, because the more I enjoy something, almost the harder it makes me want to work for it, and the better the results and that kind of thing. So as long as I start it in with the correct bullet point, which is go out and have fun, as much as it's just an easy statement to put out in front of everyone, it has to start like that for me. So I got to do it my way, from that understanding, and that's the most important thing.
I love that. I'm going to live my life by that as well. That's what I'm going to do now in 2026. I'm going to copy you.
Good.
But
Pleased
I
for you,
also
mate.
I also just love how honest you are and how vulnerable you are. And like, you'll say if you're struggling with something, you'll say if you're really enjoying something and it's going well, but you're just so like open about everything. And I wonder, like, is it easy for you to do that? Does it just come naturally, or is that something that you've had to sort of work on?
Um, I think I've had to work on not being as I was the opposite. I have to work on not being as open with a lot of things, which I think I feel like I did change a little bit last year, and I started the season in a pretty bad way in terms of apart from Australia, my performance after that, um, yeah, how tough I was on myself, that kind of thing. But that's always also how always been, but it's also just because it's a high stress, high pressure situation. I'm fighting for a championship. I'm fighting to win races. I'm not going to be happy when I'm doing a bad job and I'm making mistakes and I'm not performing at the level that I know I can perform at. Um, yeah, that's just, it doesn't make me happy. And I'm not going to come in and pretend that I'm not. So I'm going to tell you. And I definitely don't think it's had as much of an effect as what people say from the outside. Um, like it's not, yeah, like I'm just giving you the truth, and it's easy to do that, but it's not like I'm always telling myself the wrong thing, because I know what I'm capable of doing. So it's not like I don't believe I can do certain things. I'm just saying I did a bad job today because I know I could have done a lot better. So it's more just, yeah, it's the honesty. It's easy again for me to come in and not be like that, and to completely change how I approach things and so forth. But again, that's just not me. That's not how I was brought up. That's not just the ease of how I like to say things. So I hate not having honesty from within my own team. Like honesty is one of the most important things. So if I've done a bad job, I want my team to tell me I've done a bad job, not ever try and make it, too nice or be too kind on me on that kind of thing. Just because of the position that I'm in and my job, whatever it is, So I prefer them just to give me the hurtful truth in a way than trying to be overly kind. And that's just my way of going about it and trying to get the most out of myself.
I think people really appreciate it. I think people take a lot from you wanting to be yourself. That's not easy to do in life, let alone in sport. I think people really take a lot, and I think it's something that your fans love about you. So, good on you, Lando Norris. Now, obviously, you've done the shakedown, and the big thing all people always say is it's too early to tell what's going to happen from the shakedown. So with that in mind, tell us how many points you'll win this World Championship by, which races you're most likely to win, and everything about the car in great detail that you've learned from the last week.
No, I mean, there are a lot of differences. It is too early to say. We got another 2 tests just yet, so maybe after then we can give better conclusions of things or predictions. But yeah, you never know what other people are doing, and it's such a big regulation change. And not a lot of stuff that we had last year that might have made us quick is necessarily a carryover to this year. So it's really everyone trying to reset and just take a whole new approach to everything once again, but still working in the same way that we did previously, because that is, I think, something that made us a very, very strong team and a championship winning team. So it was different. I mean, the car handles different. It's obviously got more power up to a certain point, quite a bit less downforce, so it's much trickier to kind of handle that power. Slower in the corners, especially the medium and high speed corners. So it's a different beast in many ways, but still just as challenging or even more challenging as a car, and also to control the power unit, the battery, all of these things, which have also changed quite a lot. So a big challenge for us as drivers, I would say, but also just a big challenge for everyone. So, I want to be confident because I believe a lot in my team, that we're going to be strong and we're going to be fighting. But a lot of other teams, and Mercedes look very strong, and some of the others look good already, Barcelona. So yeah, we got time. Like it was just the first shakedown. We got 2 more tests. It's a very long season, so it's one of those where even if we don't start off on the best foot, as much as we are making sure we do, it's not the end of the world. It's a very long season where there's going to be so many changes in terms of development, upgrades, things that can really boost you forward and backwards in some ways. So Yeah, we'll just keep our heads down and keep working and making sure we get the most out of one another.
We loved watching you last season, Lando. Like, you've always been so good to us on this podcast since we started way back when. So many people who love this podcast love you. So we are so delighted to be speaking to you as world champion. Like, it's so bloody cool. We're so happy for you.
That's very kind word. Like, it's still cool when you say that, even so. No, that makes me very happy. It makes me very happy.
Lando Norris, Formula One world champion. I will keep saying it for as long as you're bored until you get bored of it.
No, I will never get bored of it.
You can find someone better to voice it than me. I'm sure we'll keep repeating it, but it could be someone better. There's other people. Get you a cool voiceover man or something.
Okay. No, it's amazing. It's always a pleasure. Always good fun to come and speak to you guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lando. Good luck for the season.
Thanks, Lando. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. All the best, guys.
That was, and we'll say it again because he likes it, the Formula One world champion, Lando Norris. One person who unfortunately isn't the Formula One world champion, but does host a Formula One podcast is Betty Glover. Betty, what did you think of the Formula One world champion, Lando Norris?
I think I could be Formula One world champion in a different life. Like, if things went differently, I could. I've got a bit of Lando in me.
It's not where we were supposed to be going with this chat, but what would have had to have gone differently, do we think? What's where was the sort of sliding doors moment?
Be able to drive.
Yeah.
Maybe. I failed my Legoland driving test when I was 5 years old, so if I'd passed that, maybe it would be different for me.
That was the moment, Legoland, bloody Legoland. Anyway, yes. Thoughts on Lando? What did you think?
He's clearly so happy still and so buzzing, and he just seems in such a good mood, doesn't he? It's so nice to talk to him, and I'm sort of pleased that like that feeling hasn't been sort of beaten out of him, for the start of the new season, that he's still riding on that high. It was really nice to see, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice to see. Do you know what bit I really liked? The bit about it, like not trying to impersonate almost other drivers. Yeah. Like Seb did it this way, Schumacher did it this way, Lewis did it that way. I think I'm going really philosophical here, but just stay with me for a minute. Sometimes when you go through life, you do naturally try and emulate others, don't you? You compare yourself to others. You emulate others. You think that person's doing this, so I should be doing that. And it's really hard to just stay in your own path, stay in your own lane. I think it must be so difficult in that paddock and in Formula One to do that. And I think he should be really proud of himself for the way he did keep at being himself and being me. And I think he sort of epitomizes the modern athlete in some way.
I was about to say this. I think it's quite almost, I don't know if this is correct, but this is the way that I think about it, is that it's quite old school. A lot of like older athletes would sort of have their idols and look up to them and be like, I really aspire to be like this person, blah, 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 blah. Whereas nowadays, a lot of athletes, whether they're football players, F1 drivers, blah, 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 always think, I just want to be myself, like the best version of me. It's quite a sort of new-ish way of thinking, I guess.
I think it's a very healthy way of thinking about it. I really do. And I think he alluded to something I thought during the season. We said on this podcast, but like he did start the season being too hard on himself, because you can go too far. You can be too open, too hard on yourself, beat yourself up too much. But it was that point. I've banged on about it before of Canada, when he made the mistake of hitting Oscar and the way he didn't beat himself up. I think he did gain that balance of going, look, I can put my mistakes behind me and not beat myself up. I can still show my emotions and be honest, as he said, when things aren't going well, I can still be honest about that. And he dug in, and I think he unlocked more on track because of that comfortableness that he developed off track. And I think he surprised people with the way he dug in. So and unlocked more performance. So I think it was nice that he sort of reflected that. I think he's sort of seen what we picked up on there, which is great.
I also think, though, to give him his credit, to be successful and to be the best at what you do, you have got to want perfection from yourself.
Of course you
do.
And
you know when he says, I
line.
beat myself up because I know that I could have done better there, so it's annoying. It is as simple as that, really, isn't it? And if you didn't care, you wouldn't, you'd sort of leave the car and whatever, go into an interview and just, I don't know, shrug it off. But he cares so deeply that man, doesn't he? He
Yeah.
really wanted that.
And do you know what I hope for him this season? I saw, like those of us who are old, like my good self, and have been following it since Jenson won his championship, Jenson Button. Like I think he was always a very good driver. I think he got a better driver after he won his title. There was that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be world champion. I've done it now. The pressure was released, and I
the
think
weight's off your shoulders.
The weight's off your shoulders. That's exactly what thank you. That's what I'm looking for. And then he went into the next part of his career at McLaren, won races, stacked up so well against Lewis, just really enhanced his reputation as a Formula One driver. Already you can see from Lando, he's going into the seasons feeling so confident, so relaxed, in such a good headspace. I think that bodes well for his on-track performance. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he's in a great shape. And also, we've had a lot of DMs asking, like the previous 2 seasons on this pod, we've gone to Silverstone and caught up with McLaren at the start of the season when they've had their shakedown. Obviously, shakedown didn't happen that way this season. That Silverstone day didn't happen. So we had a lot of DMs going, are you going to speak to McLaren at Silverstone again? Well, I say that didn't really happen. So McLaren have kindly set this up for us to talk to the boys. And we've got Oscar coming up. So we really appreciate it. Thank you, McLaren. Lovely of McLaren to let us speak to Lando at the start of the season. Keeping up the tradition in this difficult winter where there's so many time demands with 3 tests. So, yes, thanks to McLaren and thanks to Lando for coming on.
What I will say is we're clearly a good omen for them. Because every time we speak to them, they have a good season, really, if you think about it.
I still think of the first season when we just launched 23, where he said, so we did 24 and 25 at Silverstone, but I went to see him at the start of the 2023 season. It was on the Fast and the Curious Gold that went out over the winter. It's on the YouTube channel and on the audio feed if you missed it, where he said, I want to get into the place where in 2023, the aim is to get into a place where we can look for podiums in 2024. And then he was winning races in 2024 and winning the title in 2025. That journey over the last few years for McLaren has been spectacular. So, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah.
And well, guys, remember, follow and subscribe because you don't want to miss any of our other episodes, including podcast favourite, Oscar Piastri. He's coming back on. So make sure you click that button.
That'll be the next episode. Oscar will be the next one. So click subscribe.
Set alarms, whatever. I don't know what you have to do, but just make sure you do it so you do not miss it.
So we'll be back to speak to Oscar Piastri on our next episode, and we'll have plenty more build-up to the start of the season. We'll be here popping up with bits and bobs before we start the season in Australia. And also, after we've spoken to Oscar, we're going to do a bit of a Q&A on not the first test, it's not being called the first test, on Shakedown Week. Thank you. Shakedown Week in Barcelona. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A on that. So any questions, anything you're thinking, what do I need to know from Shakedown Week, send us a message at Fast Curious Pod, and we'll do a little bit of a Shakedown Week debrief on our next episode after we've spoken to Oscar. And until then, we'll bid you so long, farewell, enjoy all of your life that happens until we speak to you on our next episode.
So I imagine it's going to be, quite quick.
I hope so. But listen, you never know.
Bye, guys.
Bye.